ml of water. Okay, I start my day with a pint of water because most of the time, most nights, people will get, you're hoping to get 7 or 8 hours sleep. Um, but you've probably stopped eating and stopped drinking for probably a duration of 10, 11, maybe even 12 hours. So you're already dehydrated when you wake up. And sometimes people will get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and they forget to take on that water, and they're actually dehydrated, but the tea or the coffee will just take the thirst off them. So the body is screaming out for fluid. Get a pint of water into the system, get a good healthy breakfast. Um, Try and use some foods with anti-inflammatories in them, the likes of strawberries, berries. Oats are good in the morning. I like porridge, or wholemeal cereals, or whole grain. So that kind of works for me. But it really depends. I can't just give you a specific advice or tip. I think hydration is very important. So I try to get between 2 and 3 liters of water every single day. 2 and 3 liters. Now I know it's hard. It is hard, but it's something that I have to be consistent with, something that I have to keep reminding myself of. But that person who asked the question, if they have specific goals, do they want to lose weight? Do they want to build muscle? Are they trying to, is the 5 kilometer operation transformation goal, is that your target? I don't really know what your target is, but I think you are really doing well if you are operating off your my fitness pal app and tracking your progress, which is very good. We know that the calorie intake for women is, recommended around 2,000 calories per day, and for men around 2,500. So let's say, for example, a person wants to lose some weight. Well, what you do is you try and make a deficit on your calorie intake by small amounts. I'm not talking about taking away 500 calories a day or anything like that, but you might try and bring down your calorie deficit to 1,800 calories a day. So you're making a 200 deficit. But remember, you can't reach targets in one day or one week. You have to be consistent over time. And they reckon that time to see change in your body composition is around 6 weeks of consistent habitual progress and efforts. So don't get, sometimes people can lose heart and say, oh, I did a great week this week, but I'm heavier than I was last week. And then they throw all the ties out of pram and they give up. Don't do that. Don't do that. So anyways, that's the first answer to the first question. The second question I got, and I only got a couple, and if anyone else wants to write in some more, please do. The second question was, someone is looking for exercises to be able to help with weight around the belly, upper body, and more around the lower body as well. And they described love handles. So anybody knows what the love handles is? So that's the question coming in. So what exercises would help with that? And I don't have a very great back or strong back, so please can you let me know? I would love to tell you that exercise is going to fix that, but it's not. Exercise will help, but the most important thing with fat loss is diet. Simple as that. It's 70% diet, 30% exercise. And where there is plenty of fat or excess fat, that is a clear sign that we are taking on board far too much sugar. The sugar intake is just too high. So most of the kind of health organizations would have a standard recommended sugar intake for men and for women. So if you go to if you go online and go to even the HSE or something, you should find what your sugar intake is. And just like the last individual who is working off the MyFitnessPal app, which is a food app, a food tracker and a training tracker, you will be able to kind of log the sugar you take, the sugar that you intake, and keep track of what you're actually doing. Like, say for example, if your sugar intake, recommended intake, is 5 teaspoons of sugar a day, including in liquids and food, everything, and you take 3 spoons of sugar in your tea, and you're having, let's say, 4 cups of tea a day, you're already taking 50% more than your daily intake. Then if you add that up by one day to a week to a month, you're just taking in far too much sugar, and the dangers around that, the health complications that you're going to generate, will be pretty serious. So the person that asked that question, maybe you need to look at the diet, and the diet will be the key there. And then once you get the diet and the balance between the diet and the exercise, then you will start burning fat and losing fat. But like I told you before, it's not going to happen after one night or 1 week. You won't see fat going until a 4, 5, 6 week period. But then once you keep up this new behavioral patterns, dietary habits, then you will, the only way is up. You're going to continually get better. When you start to see the pound shedding, they will continue to shed. The fat will continue to go. On that as well, it's very important to be hydrated. Fat, remember, is a survival part of, like, what's the purpose of fat on our body? The purpose of fat is to provide energy, to provide insulation, protection to the vital organs. So if we are dehydrated, then our body is going to hold on to the fat. It won't want to let go because it's in survival mode. It's trying to protect the body. The body is taking liquid from the fats. So if we continue to have 2 or 3 liters of water every single day, regularly, not gulping, just regularly intake the water, then the fat will be like, okay, the body will, the system will go to the toilet regularly 4 or 5 times a day, and the body will flush out all the toxins and all the garbage that we don't need. So it's a healthy system. It's good to get that healthy circle going. So that's that. Somebody asked a question about the plank that I demonstrated the last time. So the core plank is a very difficult exercise, but it's also a very effective exercise. But for some people, they can't lift up their body from the feet up down to the elbow. It is quite difficult exercise. So the position that I'm in right now in my house, I just wouldn't have the space to be able to demonstrate it. But what I will do for tomorrow morning's session, which starts at 10 o'clock, I will demonstrate that first. When I welcome everybody into the room, I'll make sure I demonstrate that move, that plank, and give people that option of being able to do the plank in a modified version from the knee up. And so I think that will be very helpful. So there was one more question, but I had a couple of questions in the question. So this person she's from the deaf community, and I think it's a female. I'm not sure. Yes, I think it is a female. She was saying that she can't hear the bell or the sound when she's doing a particular exercise, and if I'm doing 30 seconds or 40 seconds. So my advice would be to try and place your laptop in a place where you can train and see the laptop at the same time. So if you have your laptop up on a countertop and you're training down on the floor doing sit-ups or press-ups, you're not going to see the screen. So try and place the screen at the same level of where you're training, so it's not too difficult for you to keep up with us. So the same person also was asking about what's the best time to have food before training, and the recommended time would be 2 hours, especially for substantial meals. So if you're having like a good breakfast or lunch or dinner, that would be recommended 2 hours before your training session. For example, we're training at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I would recommend that you have your breakfast between 8 o'clock and half 8 maximum. If, for example, cannot or somebody is working a long day and they have an exercise or a training session in the evening, and they only have, like, let's say for example, 1 hour to get some food into their body, then I would recommend that you have something small but something effective, like a slice of wholemeal toast with peanut butter, which is a good boost of kind of carbs and energy, and maybe even a half of a banana sliced onto it. That will just kind of give you enough kind of energy, especially if you're doing a walk, like one of the walking sessions that we're doing, or a jogging session. But when it comes to substantial meals like breakfast, lunch, dinner, you should have them 2 hours minimum, around 2 hours before your workout. Last question that I got, and I know there's a few more coming in, we'll get to them in a second, but just the last pre-questions that I got pre-meeting was how to know when to stretch your muscles. Well, your muscles will be tight and they will be sore and they'll be heavy, almost like you'll feel rigid and like stiff when you're walking around. That means your muscles are sore. Normally, you will find the muscles being sore after a workout with me on the Monday or the Friday mornings. You'll find your hamstrings being very tight. So, so when this happens, your muscles are like elastic bands. Okay, when you train them, they get so worked up and worked out that they tend to tighten up, and it's your job then to gently stretch, but don't overstretch, because like anything, you can stretch too much and too fast and too aggressive, and you could cause injury. So very gently, if you feel stiff in your hamstrings or your biceps or shoulders, you just slowly do a little stretching and sit in the stretch for about 10 seconds. I always say feel a little strain but no pain. Okay, little strain, no pain. So that's that. Now I think I've answered those questions that came in, and there's a couple of more. That's
I can call them out to Eric, because some of them are direct message to me.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I will. The first question is: there is somebody that lives 4 miles out the Athy side of Kilcullen, is looking for somebody to walk with her. So if there is anybody interested, I have that lady's number. Obviously, we do have to adhere to guidelines and restrictions, but if there is somebody on that road who would like a walking partner, give me a shout or message me, and I can exchange the numbers. So the next question then for you, Eric, is: my target is to strengthen my muscles after illness. Any food you'd recommend that would help?
Well, I think the kind of food that we need to strengthen muscles is protein foods. So, your meats, your poultry, your chicken, your eggs, your duck, your all that kind of protein foods feeds the muscles. But you can't just have protein on its own. You need to have a mixture of carbs, protein, and healthy fats as well. I suppose Anna might be able to kind of best. Anna is at the moment studying nutrition, so she might have a little bit more I have a general kind of an understanding of nutrition, but I'm not a nutritionist, so I can give from my experience. But someone that's coming back after injury and looking to build up their muscles, I will just, if you don't mind, I'll pass that one on to Anna.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know if people can see me, but hopefully you'll be able to hear me.
Yeah, we can see you loud and hear you as well. Yeah.
Great, perfect. So yeah, as Eric says, protein is the main food for muscles. That's its job is growth and repair. But really, it's a balanced diet. So to go with that protein, you need a nutrient dense diet. So lots of fruit and veg, lots of vegetables, a mix of vegetables as well. Lots of green leafy veg, root vegetables. You're aiming for a minimum of 5 portions a day, which would be 2 fruit, 3 vegetables, but 7 or 8 portions where you can get veg in is kind of my motto. So if you think of your plate as having 4 quarters, 1 quarter protein, 1 quarter of carbs, and then half of vegetables. So yes, protein is the food for muscles, but it has to be combined in a nutrient dense diet. You need all the nutrients to create all the things that happen, all the little synapses that happen in the body. You need the nutrients to carry all those enzymes around. So really, it's a full balanced diet.
Thank you, Anna.
Hopefully that answers the question.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, so the next question, Eric, is just sorry, now just have gone. What's the best thing to manage muscle aches the days after the exercise session, like the one on Monday?
So what's the best time to, sorry, Anna?
What's the best thing to manage muscle aches? So I suppose the best thing to manage DOMS really is probably what.
Yeah. Okay, the DOMS, yeah. So my kind of experience around that would be to straight away the next day or a couple hours later get out for a walk. Just because you're doing a session with me on Monday morning and that's part of our 5-week plan, that doesn't mean you can't get out for a stroll on Monday evening or Monday afternoon. I'm not like, our goal, our plan is to fulfill the 5 training sessions per week, 2 with me and 3 on your own. But Monday morning we do a session at 10 o'clock. If you want to go out in the afternoon or even the evening for a small stroll, it doesn't have to be much. It could be 10 or 15 minutes, stretch the legs. That will help. That will be very good. Also, a nice bath, and sometimes throw a half a cup or 3/4 of a cup of Epsom salts into the bath. And that's nice just to soak the body and relax. A nice warm bath. That helps with the muscle recovery. And you don't want to be getting into the Epsom salt baths every day though, because I don't think it would be good for the skin every single day. So, but maybe at the end of each week, or like today is Thursday, it's our rest day. If you want to use it today or Sunday, which is the end of the week, Sunday is a complete rest day. And if you want to do a bat at the end of the week, and then just up until then, just try and stretch out and do a little bit of walking when you can, a little bit of loosen out. But the good news is, if your muscles are sore, you're definitely doing something right. It's a healthy soreness, and it means your body is now working. So that's good. And the fitter you get, and as time goes on, you will eventually, that soreness will begin to wane, and it'll settle a little. You'll get a little less sore over time. And I often started out training people over the last number of years who start out very sore, and 6 months later they're like, Eric, I'm not sore anymore. What's going on? And they're searching for this soreness. And I'm like, you're just after getting too fit. Your body is comfortable with what you're doing now. Now you need to push harder and step it up a bit more. So anyways, I hope that answers that.
I'll add a little thing onto that as well. Lots of water. Make sure you're well hydrated as well. I know you did speak about hydration, but dehydration will affect your muscles as well and make them more, more sore.
Absolutely.
So, as Eric takes a go. So the next question, Eric, is: Hi, Eric. Just wondering, do you have any tips in terms of mindset and motivations? Do you have any recommendations about books about this and a healthy diet and lifestyle?
Yeah, right. I don't really have any recommendations in terms of books because I would just watch. I would read a lot of information online and stuff like that. But you can be your own worst enemy or your own best friend when it comes to mindset and when it comes to reaching goals and targets. Where a lot of people fall short is they set unrealistic goals or they set the bar too high. So, for example, somebody who never ran a 10K run before or even a 5K decides that they're going to do a marathon. Just like that. They'll just say, I'm going to do a marathon. They've never ran 5K, never ran 10K. And then they start to train for this marathon and they realize, I can't do it. I can't do it. So they fall. And then they can internalize the criticism and beat themselves up because they'll feel like I'm not good enough. And break down when it comes to mindset. You need to be able to set goals, set targets that are in line with your, like, they have to be attainable. They have to be attainable. They have to be reachable, achievable. You have to be able to see yourself at the end of this 4-week or 5-week period. You have to be able to see yourself standing at the top of your goal target, at your goal mountain, wherever that is. So when it comes to mindset, I would say set achievable goals, but also give yourself positive affirmation, positive feedback. When I say we can become our own best friends or our own worst enemies, that's very true. We believe the stories we tell ourselves. So if I tell myself I'm no good, I'm no good, I'm not a great boxer, and I'm not going to become a champion again. I just know I'm not going to be doing it. I haven't got the skills, I haven't got the abilities, I haven't got the drive. Then I will start to believe that. Now, it's important to give yourself positive affirmations because we believe the stories we tell ourselves. I mean, I think it was it Henry Ford that said, if we think we can or we can't, we're going to be 100% right. So mindset is very, very important because there's only a fine line between powerful and vulnerable. And it's okay to be vulnerable. I'm saying that's okay. But what I'm saying is we need to continually give ourselves positive affirmation. Some days, I'm telling you, I'm a champion. I'm a multiple Irish boxing champion. But some days I feel down. Sometimes I feel, believe it or not, sometimes I lose confidence. I feel inadequate, or I feel not good enough. I sometimes even feel not worthy. But I have to challenge myself, and I say, why am I feeling like that? I have to try and find the root cause of that. And normally I'm able to unravel or unravel this this negative storytelling of myself and turn it around. And that's what it's about. That's what mental strength, mental fitness is about turning it around, saying, no, like, it's like the angel and the devil on the shoulder. You've got the angel saying you're great, yeah, and then you've the devil saying, no, you're no good. It's like a positive Pete and negative Ned. The key is to try and focus more so on the positive as opposed to the negative. But we will get doubts. You will have doubts. You will have bad days, low days. But don't don't beat yourself up. Just put it down to a bad day. I'm having a bad day. Everybody's allowed to have a bad day. Park it, move on, a good night's sleep, a good meal, a good chat with a friend. Talk, sometimes I'll pick up the phone and talk to a close friend, and I'll be honest about how I'm feeling. And then my friend will have to, close friend will say, Eric, what are you talking about, man? You're being a bit, you're kind of, I think you're being a bit hard on yourself, and sometimes I need to hear it from somebody else before I actually believe it. So this is what it's all about. It's about using the resources that are around us, like, the ones, using the tools you have of your own self, but also using the resources around you, like friends, coaches, advisors, mentors, whatever. If you consult with people, normally that's a good thing to do. And it's like the person that's asked from out the Dublin Road who asked, is there anybody available? I would like to have a fitness or a fitness partner to help me, to work out with me for a bit of moral support. I think that person is very courageous and has great self-awareness to be able to say that and ask for that assistance and help. So that's very good. And if we can find somebody to take that person up on that, that will be brilliant.
Great. I just to following on from that question, the recommendations. I'm going to write. There is a. I can give a book recommendation, which is a very easy to read, very easily broken down into a couple pillars of moving, walking, rest, relaxation, and sleep. So I'll type the name of that author into the chat in a minute, so you can have a look. And yeah, and he does very good podcasts. Did you listen to podcasts as well? The next one, I don't know whether you want it or I'll take it, Eric. Eric, I drink a lot of tea, and some of those times when I have a cup of tea, I have a treat. What advice would you give to someone who has a sweet tooth? How can I resist these temptations?
It goes back to the sugar. And hey, I'm your brother.
Yes.
I'm telling you, like, we're all only human, but I made a decision this year that it's very possible.
Love the key, Eric.
It's very possible that I'm going to have a European title fight this year, which is going to be huge. And it's always been a dream of mine to become a European champion. And I know that that's going to happen at some point in this year, but I can't wait till that challenge, that opportunity is upon me before I make the changes. So I made the decision to cut out the treat. I used to have a treat every evening, whether it was a biscuit or a small, like just something sugary and sweet every evening. And I've cut that out, and now I have a treat on a Saturday night, and I have a really good treat, a bar of chocolate or something, a really nice treat, and a cup of tea, and I look forward to it, and I really enjoy it. So it's only a matter of changing around your healthy snacks. So in the evening now, instead of my old sugary chocolate treats, I have, there's, the Revita breads. They're like a biscuit bread. So with a bit of light Philadelphia cheese, cut up thin sliced tomato, and a little bit of black pepper, little pinch of salt, and I have one or two of them. Nice little snack. I also cut up an apple for a different snack. I cut up an apple and I slice the apple up in little sticks, small little sticks, and I have a little tub of a little dabble of peanut butter, and I dip the apple into the, and I just eat them, and I just snack away at them in the evening watching telly. And it's just it just takes that longing for a bit of sweetness off me. These are small little tips. Greek yogurts laced with a little bit of nuts, stuff like that. You got a good organic yogurt, put a handful of nuts or seeds into it, dry fruit even, help you to take off that bitter taste off it. But really good, this is good healthy stuff. You can also do the same with a carrot. Skin a carrot or peel a carrot, chop it up into little sticks, little pinch of salt, and sit down and snack away at them. it'll take the longing for sweet stuff off you. So hope that helps.
Great, thanks, Eric. Yeah, and a lot of that is it's just breaking the addiction to sugar, breaking the habit, breaking the addiction. Next question: is there any types of exercises that you would recommend that would help gain muscles?
Well, you know, in order to build muscle, you got to lift.
Anna, can you just repeat that question again? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Is there any types of exercises that you would recommend that would help gain muscles?
So nearly all exercises build muscle, but mostly the resistant exercises. So the bench press, the shoulder press, the press ups, the chin ups, the squats, the lunges, the deadlifts. These are all resistance type exercises are the ones that build muscle. But when you're building muscle, it's important that you get the exercise is only one part. You have to eat a lot of food and a lot of the right foods. So you would increase the protein. You would increase the kind of the protein shakes. You might even add a bit of creatine to your diet to help boost that, you know, the metabolism and the muscle increase. But for most of the bodybuilder people that I speak to who are pumping up muscle, they tell me that they do be eating sometimes between 3,000 and 4,000 calories a day. And, you know, with the recommended intake of 2,500 for men, you know, that's about a 50% increase on that intake. So it's not only the exercise, remember, it's the food intake.
Great. And the next question is, what is good for a heel blister which is burst from new runners?
Yeah, you know, just again, you're just going to have to get one of those cushiony type plasters. I think there's a name on them.
The Compede plasters.
Yeah, the PED. Yes, yeah. So the PED plasters, and they, you know, they might help you out. But in the evening with those new runners, if you can stuff them with newspaper, stuff the runners with newspaper in the evening, and they might just kind of expand it a little bit and stop the tightness rubbing from you. Also, what's good as well is if you just give the back of the runner a little massage yourself with your thumb and maybe a little bit of Vaseline, and just give the back of the runner a little massage and rub your thumb around it. Try and wipe the hard, new, leathery surface off it.
Great, thanks, Eric. Any tips on positive daily habits which we can use?
Yeah, I mean, break it down. It's the small little things like, okay, today I'm going to, like, I have a diary. If we don't track what we're doing, then how are we supposed to assess accurately what we did? So you have to record your movements. I'm not saying, look, you have to record every single thing you eat, you do, or whatever. But for me, I try to record the training I do, the fluids that I take in. I aim to have 2 and 3 liters every day. And so, for example, here's a bottle that's 750 ml. Okay. Now, this is 750 ml. This is nearly finished. So that's believe it or not, that's only my second one today. But that's up to here. I won't fill up that until it's fully gone, because I know that that's 750 mil. So 750 and 750 is a liter and a half. So I'm a liter and a half into my target of between 2 and 3 liters a day. So I'm a little bit light today. So I need to get more. So what I'm trying to say, for example, try and reach your water intake. Try and get a routine of 8 hours, 7 or 8 hours sleep every night. Try to make sure you're going to the bed in or around the same time every night, 10 minutes later or 10 minutes earlier. you know, there's no point going to bed one night at 10 o'clock, the next night at 12 o'clock, the next night at 11. Try and get into a system. The body thrives on routine. And when you're getting the right sleep and a good sleep, then you're burning fat as well. And your muscles are getting the best recovery they can get. Sleep is your ultimate tool when it comes to a healthy, balanced lifestyle. Sleep is so important, because with the good night's sleep, then we are proactive and productive in our day. Without the sleep, we're already at a disadvantage. So just try small little things: water intake, good sleep pattern, and just try and be conscious of what you're eating. Low on the sugar. Small things. I'm not telling you to go and be completely radical and drastic. If you make small little changes to your lifestyle, they will have a bigger impact over time.
Great. Yep. Yeah, routine. The body thrives on routine and rhythm. The body has its own sets of rhythms. And it thrives on us having routine around them. Last question that we have so far, Eric. Are there any particular foods which Eric eats regularly?
Yeah, regularly. Yeah, I love eggs. I'm just a devil for eggs. I eat eggs nearly every single day. But to be honest with you, I'm quite boring. Like if my diet's quite boring enough, you know. I'm lucky enough. Laura, my fiance, is after getting, over the last couple of lockdowns, she's after getting very creative in the kitchen. So I'm benefiting on that. I could just happily eat a piece of protein like chicken or turkey burger with a full plate of vegetables and maybe a sweet potato. I could have that 2 or 3 days a week. Then the next day I could have a beef stir fry or a chicken stir fry with brown rice. And I could make enough for 2 days, and I could have that for another 2 days. And nearly for every lunch, I have eggs. And I have eggs with smoked salmon, or eggs with bacon, or boiled egg, or a poached egg with a little bit of brown bread. And another meal that I like to have for dinner as well is salmon darns. So I love salmon. So I might just have salmon, huge plate of veg, green beans, asparagus, broccoli. I love greens. I put loads of greens on it, and either sweet potato or normal potato. So that's, you know, more or less my kind of diet. And then in the evening I would try and just have something light, like a fruit salad, or maybe a slice of toast with a slice of a banana or half a banana. So nothing really spectacular, you know. We did buy a book there recently, and we're looking for it. It's God, I tell you what, I can't think of the name of it, but it looks really good. Once I get the name of it, I have it online. I'll send it to Anna, and she can share it with you. But I'm looking forward to getting this book. It has a lot of good meal plans in it that are all within the region of 30 minutes preparation and delivery, you know. So I'll get Anna to send it to everybody when it comes in.
Yep, no hassle. Just if you are, there's another athlete that I use an awful lot of her recipes is Derval O'Rourke, and she does a lot of really good, really easy. You don't need to have, you don't need to own your own shop in your pantry. It's all very, very easy and very quick and really healthy and nutritious. And a lot of recipes, like I said in the tips that I gave you, that you can cook for dinner and have enough for lunch the next day. So Derval O'Rourke, I would highly recommend her recipes. So Eric, that's all the questions that we've been given in. If anyone has any before we go, please feel free to fire them into the chat box now. If not, I think that's been really good. And thank you so much to everybody for logging on. And yeah, if you think of questions throughout the week as well, don't be afraid to just pop me an email with questions, and I can start gathering them up ahead of each week's session. Okay, so if anything pops into your head, or you just think, oh, I'd like some support with that, please drop me an email with a question or any concerns you have. We are here to support you 100%. So yeah, I don't think we've any more. So have you anything else to say, Eric? I'll leave it back to you.
No, I just in relation to our ultimate goal here. Everybody's ultimate goal is to complete the 5K, the couch to 5K between the 19th and 21st of February. So that's our goal, and everybody should be thinking of that goal, but not being overawed by the journey ahead. Okay, break it down. Sometimes when you get a little bit how would you say, sometimes people can get a little bit overwhelmed, okay, and they say, oh God, I have to do 5 training sessions this week and 5 next. Don't look at the weeks ahead, just one day at a time, 1 minute, sometimes 1 hour at a time. But when you break it down like that and you're moving through the week and you look behind you and you realize you have a week under your belt and then you have 2 weeks under your belt and you see the distance that you're going, then this starts to build up a bit of confidence. Consistency is results, okay? So be consistent with your routine, and then your routine will bring results towards you. Next week, what we can do is I will talk a little bit more maybe about motivation, about mindset. I will share some slides with you and talk to you a little bit about the kind of, okay, just before I finish, sorry, Anna, I'm just going to say, I want you to be aware of stumbling blocks, okay? Stumbling blocks that will knock us off course are excuses, okay? Normal excuses like, oh, I have a bit of a headache today, or, these are internal excuses. My leg's a bit sore, my muscles are a bit sore, and sure, I'll leave it today, or the weather outside is bad, Honestly, we will find every excuse under the sun to stop us from achieving or obtaining what it is that we want, that we so desire. So try and not get into a pattern of that, because that can be a pattern. I went through them stages myself in life. If I didn't train on a Monday, I wouldn't start till the following Monday. I'll start next Monday. Procrastination. We need to watch out for that. What else? Yes, probably, and I said this before, probably worse than actually not reaching your goals is the consequence. Well, sorry, when you set out a plan to reach a goal and you don't do it, or you give up halfway, that can be worse than not setting a goal at all, because now you've set the goal, you've made a plan, and you've bailed out halfway through it or at the beginning. Now you're beating yourself up. You're like, what was I thinking? What did I set that goal for? What did I sign up there for? I should have known better. I was crazy, So my message to you all is to see this goal and see it out, because there's nothing greater than the satisfaction of achievement, no matter how small or how big that achievement is. When you make a plan and you fulfill it, it's a wonderful feeling. And the more you get comfortable around, the more consistent you are of reaching these targets and reaching these goals, then the better your whole life and your whole well-being is going to be for it. So that's it. I think everybody probably heard enough for tonight. But look, we'll come back with some more little personal stories next week. I'll share some personal stories with you, and I'll talk a little bit more about motivation, breaking down barriers, what to watch out for, and how to get the best out of ourselves, if that's okay.
Great. Brilliant. Thanks a million, Eric. Thank you to Katrina, our interpreter, and thank you to everybody for signing on. So it's we'll see you in about 14 hours. So for our next session, which is great. So yeah, thank you very much, and well done in your first week. Yeah, see you in the morning, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Thanks.